Here's everything you need to know about Empire's rework, their faction and unit changes coming in Thrones of Decay as FLC. Imperial Authority has been reworked, and the way it works now is based on the number of regions being controlled by your culture, aka Empire factions, within the region of the Empire, which are now indicated by this little icon over here, beside every region that is part of the Empire. Kind of similar to Electoral the Everqueen faction mechanic. The more regions Empire factions control within the Empire, the more benefits you're going to start getting. And you're going to start getting the benefits as long as the Empire factions control more than 50% of the regions within the Empire. And if Empire factions actually start getting less than 50% of the regions within the Empire, you're going to get some really nasty debuffs. All of these buffs and bonuses are only going to affect the regions within the Empire. So if you have regions outside of the Empire, none of them are going to get affected by Imperial Authority benefits or debuffs. Karl Franz has gotten a brand new mechanic, Electoral Machinations, which has two different sections: Emperor's Decree and Diplomatic Talks. So Diplomatic Talks is part of the Electoral Machinations that we had before. So basically you can improve or decrease the relationship with the Empire factions, but eventually you can use this on Dwarves, High Elves, Kislev, Grand Cathay, and Bretonnia as well. Emperor's Decree is powerful buffs and bonuses that you can use on your faction, lords, and other Elector cans. I'm going to go through every single one of them. The first one is going to be Call to Arms, Recruitment Cost Seduction, and Local Recruitment Capacity +1. Commendation grants target army lord 2,500 experience. Open the Gates grants 1 population surplus to 1 province, and it has cooldown of 3 turns. Inquisition decreases the corruption by 50. Conscription, the target army instantly completes 1 turn of ongoing local and global recruitment, which is absolutely insane. Sending Aid is gonna spawn a degrading army for the Empire faction at the target region, and also increase the target faction's fealty by 2, which is really good. And it cannot be used on our own regions, obviously, because we don't have fealty for our own faction. Requisition, all Electoral Count State Troops units will be replenished instantly in the Electoral Count State Troop recruitment pool, which is pretty cool. Cast a Spelly, safely declaring war on target Electoral Count faction without suffering a loss of fealty with other Electoral Counts. Unify, confederating target 10 fealty Electoral Count factions, and it's gonna decrease the fealty of all other Electoral Counts by 2, which is pretty cool. You don't need to wait 20 turns to get the Confederation Dilemma anymore, and you can just confederate the electoral counts as long as you have 10 fealty and 2,500 prestige. But whenever you confederate these guys, it has a cooldown of 5 turns, and then you can confederate another electoral counts. And all of these cost anywhere between 500 to 2,500 prestige. Emperor's Decree is actually a pretty cool mechanic, because now you got something to do with the excess prestige you're going to accumulate over the course of your campaigns. So the unique trait of Karl Franz has been changed slightly. He can still replenish in neutral territory, but now he gets 20% upgrade reduction to Electoral Count State Troop units for the Lord's Army, which is pretty cool, and also additional 5% weapon strength and missile damage, hit experience rank for Electoral Count units for the Lord's Army, which is gonna make these guys a lot more useful. So the special skill line of Karl Franz has been fully reworked. Best of the Empire now gives extra 3 recruit rank for Lords faction-wide, recruit rank +2 for all units for the Lord's Army, and experience gain +20% for the Lord's Army as well. Imperial Special Forces now combines the 2 skill points he had before for the Reichsguard and Great Swords into one thing, and gives all of them buffs and bonuses, which is pretty nice thing to see. The Emperor's Men is going to be buffs and bonuses for all of the Electoral Count State Troops for every single army in his faction, which is absolutely insane. The Heroic Knightly Band, the only thing that has been added here is the upkeep reduction for all of the melee cavalry units in his army. The hero capacity and recruit rank for the Empire captains has always been there. And Majestic Enforcer has also been changed to 50 growth and 3 control for the local province. And Perfect Vigor has been added to Emperor's Journey. It only had weapon strength and unbreakable before. The Leader of the Men is going to increase the poll capacity of your Electoral Count troops by 1. So now the Electoral Count State troops are going to have 2 capacity instead of 1. Karl Franz also starts with 1 Cathay Great Swords in his initial army, which is pretty cool. Summoning the Elector counts has also changed. As long as you have the 13 Elector count states under your control, you can
summon the Elector counts.
And by doing that, all Elector counts that are not currently besieging or garrisoned are going to be summoned to Karl Franz's location. As Karl Franz, you can finally have proper diplomacy with all other elector counts, meaning you can become their defensive or military ally, which basically allows you to have outposts in each other's settlements, recruit units from each other, and also borrow their armies. There has been a slight change in the faction effects of Karl Franz. You have access to everything you had access to before. Instead of the extra prestige you would get previously, now Karl Franz get access to extra 25% allegiance points and extra 5 growth per allied faction. So now you're incentivized to have more and more allies. You have gotten a brand new battle wizard called Gold Wizard, which has access to Lord of Metal. Previously, Balthasar Gelt was the only Lord of Metal caster for the Empire. These guys have access to Barded Horses and Imperial Pegasus like most other battle wizards for the Empire. Faction effects of Balthasar Gelt has also changed. He has access to the Colleges of Magic, and on top of that, extra 5 Winds of Magic power reserve capacity for each wizard in an army, all armies. Welcome to Grand Cathay, gentlemen, because Balthasar Gelt starts his campaign in Grand Cathay. In the Broken Lands of Tianli, he starts at war with the Burning Wind Nomads. At the start of his campaign, he does have special dilemmas that are unique to his faction, which we're gonna get into in a second. Balthasar Gelt also has a brand new mechanic, the Colleges of Magic. Empire has access to 8 different Lords of Magic, and for every Lord of Magic, the Colleges of Magic has 3 different repeatable actions and also a couple of single-use actions right over here. We're gonna go through every single one of them. First of all, we're gonna start with the repeatable actions. We also have a brand new resource, Arcane Essays. So what is Arcane Essay? As your magic users use magic, they collect Arcane Essays. So the more mages you have and the more you use them in the battlefield, the more Arcane Essays you're going to generate. And then you will use these Arcane Essays in the Colleges of Magic to get powerful buffs and bonuses from items, army abilities, and also extra heroes. Every Lord of Magic's first repeatable action is this action, which increases the hero capacity for all battle wizards by 1, and also it instantly recruits a battle wizard from that respective Lord of Magic. So as you guys can see, every single one of them have the same exact action, but it recruits a different battle wizard based on whatever Lord of Magic you're on. And now let's just go through the other repeatable actions from every single Lord of Magic. The first one is going to be Transmutation, which is going to instantly give you 3,500 gold. Compelled Corrosion, which is going to decrease the armor of enemy forces within the same region as the target gold wizard's army. For the Lord of Death, Sheesh Storm, which is going to damage all enemy forces within the same region as the target's Amethyst Wizard's army. Ashes and Dust, which is an army ability cataclysm spell, really useful that you can use on your armies. The Bright Key, which makes the Bright Wizard cause wall breaches when besieging and also destroys all enemy defensive supplies, which is pretty cool. Magma Storm is another cataclysm spell, which is going to be for the army, 1 use of it. Celestial Scrying, which is going to instantly replenish the action points of the target army with Celestial Wizards in it. Thorsten's Thunderstorm, which is going to be another cataclysm spell for the army. Restoration, which is going to instantly heal the army with the Jade Wizard attached to it. Storm of Renewal, which is going to be another cataclysm spell, which is going to heal everyone in the range of 55 meters. Call of the Wind, which is going to give you 3 summons of Incarnate Elemental of Beasts. Mercy's Monsters Regiment, which is going to be another cataclysm spell. Barrier of Light is going to grant 200 barrier to the target army with Light Wizard, all units in the army. Absolutely awesome. That is straight up going to turn us into Zinch. Time Amek is going to be another cataclysm spell, which is going to stop enemies from moving and also increasing the speed and charge bonus of your allies. For 40-second map wide, which is insane. So Mass Concealment is going to be unlocking the stalking stance for the target army with Great Wizard in it and 100% extra ambush success chance. And stalking stance is basically the stance of Beastman, Skaven, and Alithanar. Yeah, this one is a pretty cool repeatable action, and it's not even that expensive. And finally, the Dance of Despair, brand new cataclysm spell, which is going to remove Undead, Construct, Unbreakable, Demonic, and Elemental attribute, and negative 24 leadership. So this one basically makes the units that are incapable of fleeing flee, which is pretty interesting. I think the only person that does something kind of similar is Harald Hammerstorm, which removes the Undead attribute. Now let's go through the single-use actions for each Lord of Magic. Robes of Supreme Patriarch, which is going to be extra hero recruit rank for battle wizards, all provinces, 8 extra melee defense, 25 resistance, and immunity to contact effects. It can only be used for Balthasar Gelt. The Shaman Cortana, which is going to be a unique item only for Balthasar Gelt as well. Extra 8 melee attack, magical attacks, visual magic cost, -2 for transmutation of lead, and -4 for transmutation of lead upgraded. Metal Magisters, which is going to be Winds of Magic cost reduction, -20% for Lord of Metal spells, all armies. This one is absolutely insane. Although all of these are a lot more expensive than the repeatable actions. So for every Lord of Magic, we actually have a Magister, and the Magister is going to decrease the Winds of Magic cost for all the spells in that respective Lord of Magic by 20%. So I'm going to skip those in the other Lords of Magic. Gehenna's Golden Globe, that's a bounce spell for Balthasar Gelt, which is going to be really interesting. So most of these single-use actions in Lord of Metal is only for Balthasar Gelt. Hourglass of Sheesh Sands, it's going to be Winds of Magic cost reduction for Spirit Leech and also Spirit Leech upgraded, plus passive ability Last Rice, which is going to give you extra power charge rate and reserve per seconds, and the effect intensity is going to increase with each skill made by the unit, and it can only be equipped by Amethyst Wizards and Amethyst Magisters. Thor's Staff of Wrath is going to be a unique item enabling burnt contact effect, which is going to reduce the leadership, enabling flaming attacks, less Winds of Magic cost for cascading Firecloak, and also less cooldown for it, which is pretty cool. Astrolabe of Tomorrow's Moon is going to be ambush defense chance plus 50% for Hero's Army, and Winds of Magic cost reduction for Comet of Cassandora, 3 for basic cast, 6 for overcast. Oaken Sigil of Gairan, battle healing cap plus 20% for Lord's Army, and Winds of Magic cost reduction for regrowth and regrowth upgraded, which is absolutely insane. Croak of Varnier, which is going to be passive ability Cloak of Varnier, removing terror and fear from nearby enemies, 10% physical resistance, and causing terror. It's not that big of a deal, to be honest. Amulet of Refraction, which is going to be 250 barrier hit points, and also ability redirecting aura, redirecting projectiles back toward the firing unit, as long as they are in 55 meters radius. The Gravehand, which is going to be Winds of Magic cost reduction for Penumbral Pendulum and Penumbral Pendulum upgraded, cooldown minus 20% for Lord of Shadow spells, and also Miscast Space Chance minus 100%, which is absolutely insane. So the first repeatable action is only going to cost you 100 arcane essays the first time you perform it, but as you perform it, each time is going to get 50 more expensive. So now it's going to be 150 arcane essays instead of the 100. For example, the Bride Order, I already have recruited the Bride Wizard. If I recruit another one, now it's going to cost me 200 arcane essays instead of the previous 150. So anytime you summon a battle wizard from a specific Lord of Magic, the next one is going to be 50 arcane essays more expensive. I hope you guys are enjoying the video, and if you are, don't forget to like this video and let me know what you guys think about the changes so far in the comments down below. Let's get to the rest of the video. So now let's talk about the dilemmas of Balthasar Gelt's faction early game. So basically, Balthasar Gelt has traveled to Cathay to deal with the Burning Wind Nomads Rebellion. Zhao Ming is going to reward you for your services as you deal with the Burning Wind Nomad Rebellion. You're going to have 3 different dilemmas. The first one, you're going to get it whenever you capture your first settlement. I usually take the second option and instantly upgrade the Temple of Elemental Winds to level 2 because of the special buildings that are available in this settlement and also the resource building. And you're going to get your second dilemma when you capture Fuhong and fully control the province of Broken Lands of Tian Li. For the second dilemma, I get the 500 arcane essays because that is going to help me get more and more mages. Or you can just get the other bonuses and buffs, or just save the arcane essay for later on so you can use it on better things. And you're gonna get your third and final dilemma when you capture the last standing settlement of Burning Wind Nomads and fully defeat them. You're gonna have 2 options: either stay in Cathay or go back into the Empire. I usually negotiate mutual benefits and stay in Cathay because that's gonna make Zhao Ming my defensive ally. You're gonna get some bonus to diplomatic relationship with Cathay and also more allegiance points gained from alliance from these guys. So an additional 500 arcane essays. As I said, the arcane essays is going to be really useful, but if you have at least a half stack of wizards, you're going to get arcane essays very fast anyways. But the 500 early game could be really handy. Or you can take the second option and return to the Empire. It's going to give you 25,000 coins, transport all of your forces and heroes to the Empire at full health, but in return you're going to gift back all of the settlements to the Western provinces. And the Triumphant Homecoming is an absolutely amazing bonus. For 10 turns, you're going to have immunity to diplomatic penalties from trespassing in the Empire regions, immunity to regionless attritions, all armies, upgrade reduction of 100% all armies, extra 30% camping movement range, construction time minus 50% for all buildings faction-wide, and also population surplus +1 for newly captured settlements. I would stay in Cathay because of the special buildings over here, and then use your quest battles to get visibility over the Empire factions and start having settlements in the Empire by confederating the minor factions there. One of the special buildings in that initial settlement in Grand Cathay is going to give you Mastery of Elemental Winds for every single wizard, which is basically going to be extra intensity for their spells. The special skill line of Balthasar Gelt has been fully reworked. Tempered Aura for 10% physical resistance, an extra 15 armor for nearby allies as long as he's out of combat, Compounding Medicine, which is going to be chance of plague spreading minus 20% for Lord's Army, attrition minus 25% casualties suffered from all attrition attrition's Lord's Army, and also casualty replenishment rate plus 5% for Lord's Army. New formulations is going to be 10% extra explosive missile damage for Hellstorm rocket batteries faction wide, and also missile explosive radius plus 20% for Hellstorm rocket batteries faction wide, which is going to be absolutely amazing. Golden face mask, 20 armor and immunity to psychology. Will of the Patriarch, which is going to be hero action cost minus 20% for wizards faction wide, hero action success chance plus 15% for all wizards faction wide, and hero recruit rank plus 2 for battle wizards faction wide as well. Lore master, Lord of Metal, which is going to be Winds of Magic cost minus 2 for Lord of Metal spells, and also cooldown minus 25% to the Lord of Metal spells. He has also gotten 2 brand new skills. If you get one of them, the other one is gonna get fully locked. One is going to increase the missile strength for gunnery infantry units in his army, and the other one is going to get extra 10% weapon strength for melee infantry units in his army. So there has been a new skill line added to the battle wizards. So we're gonna go through every single skill line and see what they were about. The first 4 skills in the skill line of the battle wizards is the same exact thing. So Star Student is going to be cooldown minus 10% for the Lord of Magic the caster has access to, and miscast space chance minus 25%. Lord's Chancellor, which is going to give you additional 5% income from boost income, hero action success chance plus 15%, and hero action cost minus 25%. Jade Scholar, Winds of Magic cost reduction minus 10% for the Lord of Magic they have access to, and Winds of Magic power reserve capacity plus 5. Battle Harden is going to be extra 20 armor and extra 10% speed. Every battle wizard's last skill point in this skill line is going to be specialized. So Jade Wizard has a battle healing cap plus 10% for the whole army, and also immunity to contact effects. The Amber Wizard is going to have the Kettle Skull, which is going to be 2 summons of Giant Hawks. The Bright Wizard is going to have controlled anger, enabling flaming attacks and also fire resistance plus 15% for the Lord's army. The Gold Wizard is going to have 10% physical resistance and also tempered aura, which is going to be extra 15 armor for nearby allies as long as they're out of melee combat. Grey Wizard is going to give extra 20% ambush success chance for Hero's army, slippery, and also stock. The Celestial Wizard is going to give extra 5% campaign movement range for Hero's army, plus 15% campaign line of sight, and also 20% extra ambush defense chance for Hero's army. Amethyst Wizard is going to decrease the battle healing cap of enemy armies in the local region. He's also going to cause fear. For Light Wizard is going to give Aura of Protection, which is 10% damage resistance for nearby allies as long as you have 15 or greater Winds of Magic power, and also extra 2 corruption deduction in the local province. Using the Colleges of Magic, you can get tons of heroes very early on and use these heroes to farm up Arcane essays to get more and more heroes and just have a full stack of heroes. Every single wizard in Balthasar Gelt's army can increase the Winds of Magic power reserve capacity of the army by different means: 5 from Jade Scholar, 5 from magical reserves, 5 Winds of Magic from Balthasar Gelt's faction effects, 8 Winds of Magic from Hedge Wizards, which is a common ancillary that you can get by winning a battle, and also get Apprentice Wizard, which is going to be extra 18 Winds of Magic power reserve capacity, another ancillary that you can get by winning battles. If you have all of these on every single one of your heroes in your army, you're going to have around 900 Winds of Magic power reserve capacity for your army, which is basically going to be the greatest wizard army in the Warhammer universe. So if you want to make the greatest wizard army in the Warhammer universe, definitely give Balthasar Gelt's faction a go. The Empire captains have also gotten a couple of new skills. The first one is Admired Man-at-Arms, 5% upgrade reduction, extra 5% speed, and also 5% charge bonus for cavalry units for Hero's army. And there's also Admired Infantryman, plus 3 melee attack and melee defense for infantry units for Hero's army. And you can only get one of these two. If you get one of them, the other one is going to get fully locked. There's another skill line with 3 skills: Sparring Practice, which is going to be extra 3 melee attack and melee defense, and also 15 bonus versus infantry. Guardian is going to be 15 armor and also passive ability Guardian, which is going to be 15% physical resistance for nearby lords and heroes. And Killing Blow, which is going to be the ability plus 50% base weapon damage and armor piercing damage for 30 seconds. So the Witch Hunters have gotten changed quite a bit. The Grim Resolve has been changed to passive ability Grim Resolve, which is going to be extra 4 leadership and immunity to psychology for nearby allies as long as he's in melee combat. Tools of Judgment, which is a passive ability that's going to give you extra 12 melee attack and melee defense as long as there's a unit in the 50 meters radius that is going to cause terror. He has also gotten 3 sets of skills, and getting each set is going to lock the other 2 sets. So let's just go through every single one of them. Strict Obedience, which is going to be 10% physical resistance and unbreakable. Templar is going to be enemy Winds of Magic power reserve minus 5% for enemy armies in the local province, and also Vigor Loss reduction minus 33% against all Chaos, Norse God, Demons, and Greenskin factions for Hero's army. Way of the Wolf is going to be ambush success chance plus 20% for Hero's army, extra 10% speed, and also stock. Shadowy Servant is going to be extra 15% armor piercing missile damage and also attribute Snipe, which is going to allow him to remain hidden while firing. firing. Purifying Flames is gonna give him extra 3 corruption deduction from cleanse corruption and also flaming attacks. Imperial Celebrant, additional 35% success chance for assassination, enemy hero action success chance minus 25%, and also hero action cost minus 20% for witch hunters. This ability is gonna make them one of the best heroes for performing actions on the campaign map. He also gets extra powder, which is going to be the passive ability that's gonna increase the armor piercing explosive damage and also base explosive damage of nearby allies, which is mainly for the artillery units. Archlectors and warrior priests have gotten the Righteous Fury, which is going to be frenzy for themselves, and also weapon strength for 10% for flagellant units in their army. Generals of the Empire have gotten 2 new sets of skills. If they get one of them, the other one is going to get locked. So Imperial Training is going to be extra 7 melee attack and melee defense, and also 20 bonus versus infantry. Survival Instincts is going to be extra 20% casualty replenishment rate for this lord, missile block chance plus 15%, and wound recovery time minus 1. War Hero is going to be 15% extra hit points and also immunity to psychology. Heroic Killing Blow is going to be 15% extra weapon strength and also ability Heroic Killing Blow. Drill Instructor is going to be vigor loss reduction minus 15% for Lord's Army and also unit experience gain plus 20% for Lord's Army. Leading the Charge is going to be campaign movement range plus 8%, extra 10% speed and charge bonus for Cav forces in their army. Statesman is going to be extra casualty replenishment rate plus 5% for Lord's Army, 10% recruitment cost reduction and also local recruitment capacity plus 1 in the local province. Leader of the Man is going to be 5% upgrade reduction for Lord's Army and also extra 6 leadership for Lord's Army. Both sets are actually pretty decent in my opinion, and you could go with either. If you want to make the general of the Empire themselves tanky, you should go with the first line, and if you want to make their whole army better, you should go with the second line. The technology tree of the Empire has been reworked. Most notably, the artillery and war machines have now gotten separated, and for the war machines there's a really interesting technology which gives ballistic plating for the steam tanks, which basically makes this unit capable of deflecting even direct cannon fire. I haven't used it yet, but it's gonna be absolutely amazing. And on top of that, it gives you extra 10% missile resistance for steam tanks and also landship units, and extra 15 armor. Now we've got the Colleges of Magic and Imperial Colleges, Teachings of Teclis, Protection of the Patriarch, the 8 Orders, and the Hall of Duels. And the Imperial Colleges is going to be Imperial University, Clergy of Sigmar, Intelligence Sharing, Engineers Guild, and also Manor Realism. And we also have Electoral Counts, which is going to be the Conclave of Light. This one is going to add diplomatic talks with High Elves, Kislev, Bretonnia, Dwarves, and Grand Cathay. And Emperor of the Empire is going to upgrade the Emperor's Decree actions. And I believe some of these other technologies has also been reworked slightly. For example, Diplomatic Corps and also Enemies of the States have been separated, because back in the day they used to be one unified section. Balthasar Gelt has a slightly different technology tree. Instead of Elector Counts, he has a Supreme Patriarch, College Archives, which is going to give him extra 10% Arcane SN gain post-battle for all armies, and Cataclysmic Power, which is going to increase the ability number of uses plus 1 for Cataclysm spells. And then State Troops, which basically is going to give you all of the Elector Count State Troops. Empire armies now have access to replenishment post-battle option against every faction and race in-game, instead of only having that option against other human factions previously. Some Empire buildings have slightly changed. I'm going to go through every single one of them. So first of all, the biggest change in my opinion is actually gunpowder units getting separated into 2 different buildings. The first one is going to be the Marksman building, which consists of all the gunpowder infantry and also cavalry units. You also get witch hunters from them, which is pretty interesting. We do have the artillery building and also war machines, which is going to give you research rate on top of every unit you would get from it as well, up to 10% research rate at maximum level. The stables now give you extra local recruitment capacity and also global recruitment capacity. So finally, it would make sense to actually build this building, even if you don't want to recruit any cavalry units. The public order building now also reduces the upkeep, and at the highest level, it also reduces recruitment costs on top of the upkeep reduction and control. The transportation building, on top of everything it used to do, now also decreases the global recruitment duration and also local recruitment duration for your units in that province. One new addition to the Battle Wizard building is extra Winds of Magic power reserve for your local armies per turn, and the higher it goes, the better it's gonna get. One other nice change I have seen for the Empire is being able to recruit heroes at level 2 instead of level 3, but in order to increase the capacity, you still need to upgrade them to tier 3. All Empire factions can have access to Imperial authority by capturing a settlement within Empire's regions. So on top of using Imperial authority now, these factions are going to keep their own faction mechanics as well. So now let's talk about the new special landmarks Empire has gotten. The first one is this one, the Black Rose Stables, which gives recruitment cost reduction and also recruitment rank plus 1 for the Knights of Black Rose units, which is one of the new units of the DLC. And at the final level, it decreases the upkeep for all of the cap forces, all armies, even more recruitment cost reduction, and also recruit rank for the Knights of Black Roses, plus local recruitment duration -1 for these guys. It's also going to give the passive ability of Iron Resolve for the Knights of Black Roses, which basically makes them or one nearby ally not lose any entities above 50% hit points. The Known Cannon Foundry has also been updated. It unlocks the recruitment of Emperor's Wrath Electoral Count State Troop, and it also decreases the replenishment time of Emperor's Wrath unit. So basically, it will be available to recruit even faster than other Electoral Count units. Extra recruit rank, upgrade reduction, recruitment cost reduction for all of the artillery and gun units, all armies faction wide. It has a pretty decent garrison, 3 handgunners and 2 mortars. Level 5, instead of 25% replenishment time reduction for the Emperor's Wrath unit, is going to be 50%, and even further recruitment rank and also recruitment cost reduction for all of the artillery and gun units. And 2 great cannons and 1 Hellblaster volley gun is going to be added to the garrison. We have also gotten 2 new special buildings in the Temple of Elemental Winds in Grand Cathay for the Empire. The Diplomatic Halls is going to give you extra 10 diplomatic relationship with Grand Cathay and extra 25 growth, plus it unlocks the recruitment of swordsmen and pistoliers, and at the second level is going to give you 20 diplomatic relationship with Grand Cathay and 50 growth. Other special building is the Temple of Elemental Winds is going to give the attribute Mastery of Elemental Winds for all the battle wizards, and it also unlocks the recruitment of battle wizards, and on top of that it gives you 20 Arcane essays per turn. Some Empire units have gotten brand new unit icons, which are mostly gunpowder and artillery units that you can see on the screen now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to like the video and also let me know what you guys think about all the changes for the Empire in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe because we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of this month, and there's going to be a lot of Thrones of Decay content in the following weeks on the channel. If you want to watch more videos like this, you can click on this video. This is PZ totalwar, and I'm gonna see you guys later.